The anime begins with a prostitute named Alex being beaten by her pimp called Barry. He threatens her to find a way to make more money. The handymen, a group of two mercenaries named Warwick and Nicholas, receive a call for a job. In the next scene, we see Nicholas beat up the hoodlums and complete the job. Later on, there is a meeting between some high-ranking men of the underworld. They complain about a new gang that is disturbing the city and therefore being bad for business and raise some amount of money to pay mercenaries to handle the problem. The crooked cop, Chad, meets Nicholas and Warwick. He gives them the contract to eliminate Barry and everyone with him while also allowing them to take the loots they may find. Nicholas and Warwick seem to have a reputation as the guys to call if you need shit done. So let's see how they will handle this. Warwick gets into a discussion with Alex, and he reveals to her that Barry wouldn't be coming back. The scene changes to Nicholas single-handedly taking on Barry's gang. He beats them all up and begins to kill them with his sword. You heard that right. Nicholas uses a katana. However, before he can finish the job, Warwick appears behind him and shoots the remaining gang members, leaving only Barry alive. Barry begs for his life, but after making a mockery of him, Warwick shoots him dead. Warwick and Nicholas go back to Inspector Chad, letting him know that the job has been done. To his annoyance, they come with Alex, saying that she is their loot. It is in this scene that is revealed that Nicholas can talk. He had been like a mute the whole episode, communicating with only sign language. Nina arrives in the handyman office, but when she sees Alex and a Warwick dressed in only towels, she thinks they are having sex, so she runs away. Soon it is revealed that Nina brought some medicine for Nicholas from Dr. Theo, and she also came to get the handyman's help regarding some thugs that were being a nuisance to the good doctor. We soon learn that Nicholas is a tag and the leader of the thugs at the doctor's office is also a tag with rank B/2. The fight begins and Nicholas is toying with the thug. The fight is too easy for him. The doctor sends Nina to call the inspector. Nicholas tells the tagged thug that his 3 minutes are now over. The thug tries to flee but Nicholas chases after him and apprehends him. The police officers arrive and Chad begins to chastise Nicholas and Warwick for causing unnecessary trouble and damage. Nina tells Alex not to be scared of Nicholas, and they all go their separate ways. Warwick is having a dream about his childhood. We see a young Warwick in blood holding his eyes while a bloodied and young Nicholas stands at his side. Later on, Warwick tells Alex to join Nicholas in delivering some packages. On the way to their mission, Alex asks Nicholas about Warwick's main job and he replies that Nicholas is a gigolo. Who would have thought? Nicholas and Alex get to the place. Granny Joel asks him why he is with a prostitute, but Nicholas claims that she is his woman. He tells Alex to stay there while he goes upstairs to conduct his business. Granny Joel advises Alex not to stay too long with the handyman. In the next scene, Warwick is dressing up and concluding with his client and it is confirmed that he is actually a gigolo. He meets up with Nicholas and Alex and together they begin the deliveries, delivering some medicine to Galahad and Marco. When they get to the revered Daniel Monroe, they witness an execution that leaves Alex shocked and quite numb. Nicholas refuses Monroe's offer to come back and work for him. They later head to a brothel owned by the Corsica family. We find out that people here do not like tagged people, hence they do not treat Nicholas well. Is there something about the tags that we don't know about yet? I guess we will find out later. The next day, Warwick tells Alex to leave the town before it will be too late, and they have a little discussion about Warwick's occupation. Some dead bodies are found in a warehouse, and the police, Chad and Cody, begin to interrogate our favorite handyman, but Nicholas and Warwick have nothing to say about it. Alex remembers the advice she got from Granny Joel, and she begins to think that she is not safe with the handyman, so she thinks of a place to go to. Around that time, she begins to have hallucinations about Barry. Unfortunately, PTSD is real, and such experiences like the ones she had does not just go away. Over to the police station, Chad tells Nicholas that he and Warwick should get rid of Alex before what happened to Veronica happens to her. We don't know who Veronica is, but it seems we should be scared for Alex. These guys are into the violent life and it is clearly not safe for a woman. Warwick flicks through a book, and surprisingly, he is able to identify everyone, helping the police solve the issue. Soon, Daniel Monroe claims to have a problem and he requests for the handyman to come solve it. The next scene is a flashback to their childhood, when Warwick realizes that Nicholas is deaf. The handymen are on their way to meet Mr. Monroe, Delico, and Ivan finish off their enemies, but soon they are attacked by a kid who turns out to be a Twilight. Twilights are another name for the tagged people. these guys are exceptionally strong and make use of a drug known as cerebrate. The young Twilight dominates Monroe's men in battle easily, and they soon realize that he is way older than he looks. Warwick succeeds in capturing one of the Twilight's acquaintance while Nicholas arrives to save Mr. Monroe and his men. Nicholas and the young Twilight reveal their tag and they are shown to be the same level as /O. Monroe's men know that they cannot interfere in such a fight between high-ranking Twilights. What happens next is quite funny. They begin to bet on who will win. These guys were just about to die earlier. Back at the Paucley Guild, it is revealed that the young Twilight is known as Doug, and that his mission is to kill Daniel Monroe. The Paucley Guild is the headquarters of one of the largest Mafia families in the city. Warwick is able to extract some information from the man he captured. The fight between both Twilights rages on and soon Nicholas is injured, but he overdosed on cerebrate so he doesn't even feel the pain. Just before Nicholas can finish off Doug, Ginger arrives from the Paucley Guild and stops him. Jin also appears from the Paucley Guild. She shoots Doug multiple times with downer bullets to immobilize him and soon she does the same to Nicholas. The handyman office, Alex's hallucinations continue and she keeps on seeing the dead Barry. Mr. Monroe asks for the corpses of all members of the Monroe family members that died in the recent attack, and soon they are delivered to him. We see more horrific flashbacks into Nicholas' childhood. He is being used as a servant and weapon of war. The commander even claims to have killed his mother. Warwick praises Nina's effort in saving Nicholas's life and he tells her that she will be a good doctor in the future. He tries to call the handyman office, but Alex doesn't pick up the phone. In a flashback, we see young Nicholas and Warwick bonding with Warwick watching Nicholas learn how to read and write. The young Warwick also watches the young Nicholas kill several intruders. The flashback ends with Warwick's drunk father beating him up. Both Warwick and Nicholas had very shitty childhoods, and this helps to add an extra layer to these two characters. Warwick tells Nicholas that all the dead bodies found in the warehouse were Twilights. He leaves the hospital and decides to go to the handyman office to check on Alex. When Warwick gets to the office, Alex isn't there but he meets Dr. Theo who tells him that Alex is suffering the effects of withdrawals from the pills that Barry forced her to take. Warwick finally goes out in the rain to look for Alex and he sees her outside. She thinks he is Barry and so tries to have sex with him, but he is able to bring her back to her senses. The next episode begins with a flashback, and a young Warwick learns that Nicholas is a Twilight. After some time, in the present, Warwick wakes up from his nightmare and Alex hugs him and says something about her mother. Doug talks to Nicholas for a long time before realizing that Nicholas is deaf. Doug is placed under house arrest for what he did, and we learn that the smallish boy is actually 21 years old. Doug is clearly immature. He even admits to taking the job from the Corsicans so that he will be able to fight high-ranked Twilights. Well, if Ginger and Gina had not appeared, he might have lost his life there. The next scene is a flashback and it is quite heartbreaking. Nicholas's father, the commander, clearly rejects him, telling him that he is no longer needed. Later on in the present, there is a meeting between the fathers of the Big Four Mafia family running the city, and in the meeting it is suggested that an outside force is responsible for the massacre of those Twilights. Things are heating up here. I like how unpredictable this anime is. In a flashback, we see a young Warwick being abused by his father again. The man stubs out his cigarettes in Warwick's eyes. Who the hell does such an evil thing? So this is why Warwick wears an eye patch. In the next scene, we see a bloodied corpse of Warwick's father resting on the wall, while the young Nicholas massacres other people in the mansion. Later, back to the present, we see Mikhail and Erica killing Twilights in a warehouse. Erica allows Mikhail take away their tags and the episode comes to an end. The policemen arrive at another murder location and they learn that this one was perpetrated by normal people. Nicholas and Warwick have a discussion about Monroe, Cristiano, and the other families while helping Connie repair his store. Later on we see a discussion between Alex, Connie, and Granny Joel, with the old woman saying that she expects Alex to relapse into her previous life of prostitution. Maybe it's just me, but I don't think that's a good thing to say to anyone. The conversation continues and soon Alex remembers that she has a younger brother who she has since forgotten and doesn't even know of his whereabouts. Connie assures her that the handyman will be able to find him. Warwick assures Alex that she can stay with them until she feels a need to leave. Together, Alex and Warwick go to a hospitality establishment known as Bastard. They meet Galahad, Loretta, and Marco, Warwick tells Galahad to pay $100 if he wants to have a peek at Alex's huge boobs. Man has channeled his inner Barry. Suddenly, chaos breaks out and Twilights are running out on the street. Back at the Bastard Club, Alex is giving a singing job. Nicholas and Warwick are doing their best fighting off the anti-Twilight group, and they successfully aid the Twilights in escaping into the building. In the next scene, we see Mikhail and Erica getting ready to attack the Bastard Club. Alex receives an applause from the people in the club for her performance. Loretta and Alex has a discussion and Loretta reveals that her mother was a prostitute and a singer too. Ivan arrives at the club with a briefcase full of cash. His arrival unsettles a Twilight in the club who immediately starts killing people. Ivan is disappointed when Galahad easily immobilizes the rampaging Twilight, and soon more Twilights attack Galahad with Marco coming to his rescue. With the attacks now repelled, Loretta begins to question the first Twilight, but he tries to run away and is then killed by the arriving Mikhail. Mikhail's arrival sends the entire place into a frenzy. The Twilights are so scared of him, they begin to scamper in several directions. It's like they have just seen abomination. Mikhail is an excellent fighter even though he is a child, so he holds his own against Galahad. Marco is able to snatch the neck tags away from Mikhail during the fight, and it seems to enrage him. Mikhail attacks Galahad and Marco, this time with the intent to kill, and soon Erica arrives, rendering a much-needed assistance to the young boy. Nicholas arrives to help Loretta, Alex, Galahad and Marco against the duo about to kill them. The fight continues and it is revealed that Nicholas is a faker. As a tag he is lower ranked than he claims, but he supplements his abilities using drugs. Erica defeats Nicholas, but before she can land the finishing blow, Ginger and Doug make their entrance, putting Erica and Mikhail on the back foot. With the police now gathered, Erica and Mikhail swiftly make their escape. In another scene, we see Ivan reporting what happened to Uranos and Uranos discussing with the Corsicans. Later on they welcome a boy named Emilio to their group. He is Alex's lost brother. Emilio has a flashback about his sister. Later in the clinic there is a discussion between Nina and Alex, and she tells Alex that just like most Twilight, Nicholas owes a debt to Dr. Theo. Warwick goes to the police station to help them identify the bodies of the dead Twilights, and after he is sewn, he goes to the Monroe mansion to let them know that Erica was involved in the massacre. Connie gives Alex a key, coupled with some warning about future battles. Later on, we see Warwick walking the street. He bumps into a mysterious man with some weird tattoos. Soon a female character called Sig arrives in an abandoned zone and begins to massacre people. The guild is swiftly alerted to the danger. Sig attacks Doug and the guild members with him. She dominates them, and after killing them, she is able to slash Doug twice before he escapes. The next scene is a discussion where Alex begs Loretta to offer as most help as possible to the handyman and the other Twilights. She is not still aware that her brother is now in town and he is on the side of their opponents. Nicholas notices smoke coming from the Pauckley Guild, and we see Uranos giving an order to his crew to destroy the guild. Loretta reveals to Alex that the Twilight baby they saved during the recent incident will be accepted into an orphanage. Alex mistakenly calls the baby Emilio and begins to cry when she remembers her lost brother. We move to the abandoned zone, and there is a fight going on. Emilio sets off a smoke bomb to stop Doug's sensory abilities. Doug tries to escape with his injuries, but Sig slashes him again. Even though Doug has been annoying, but he has added some entertainment, and even though it's not looking good for him at the moment, I'll prefer he survives this battle. Beretta and Stryker have a conversation, and it is inferred that he is about to storm and assault the Monroe mansion. The smoke from the guild has now increased and citizens are worried. Loretta receives a call and has to leave the house. Sig and Colt continue killing all the Twilight they can find while Gina and Ginger awake to meet the disaster that has happened. It is revealed that Sig and Colt are hunters. No wonder they are so strong and are easily able to defeat several Twilights. Colt tries to attack Gina and Ginger. However, the latter easily fends him off and breaks his sword, and soon there is a standoff between Colt and Sig and Gina and Ginger. Word reaches Bastard Club about the fights going on between the